Hi guys, Caller with a special pre-game predictions map. And here I'll be showing you the predictions that Diggity, Moletrap, and I made before the beginning of the Incrude OSL Round of 8 as to who would win. In the best of 3 between Flash and GGPlay, all 3 of us predicted that Flash would win. In the series between Fantasy and Mind, I and Diggity predicted that Fantasy would win, whereas Moletrap predicted that Mind would win. In the series between Stork and Bisu, all 3 of us predicted that Stork would win. And in the series between Midas and Best, I predicted that Midas would win, whereas Moletrap and Diggity predicted that Best would win. Please leave in a comment whether you enjoyed having our pre-game predictions before the series begins. And stay tuned for the exciting beginning of Incrude OSL Round of 8. Here is Game 1 of Flash vs GGPlay. Hey guys, this is Caller with dual commentator Diggity here, and we're going to be casting the OSL Round of 8, and this is the first game in the OSL Round of 8. This is Flash versus GGPlay. They're going to be playing in a best of 3 to determine who will go into the Round of 4. And I have to say, on this first map, Medusa, I think this will be GGPlay's perhaps best chance of beating Flash, because this map does have a rather large opening in the middle, and you know, I think this GGPlay is definitely not a favorite in this matchup, in my opinion. So I think he needs to win on this map and get an early lead in the series. What do you think about that, Diggity?
Yeah, GGPlay, he hasn't really, his last victory was sloppy, and he's played some fantastic play in the OSL. He is an OSL championship winner, but ultimately, just recently, over the past, I don't know, 8 months, he's not really been playing up to par. He's been known for some excellent Mutalisk play, some excellent Defiler play, but just recently hasn't been the top level S-Class Zerg that he was really slated to be. And it looks like he's going to be starting up in the upper left-hand spawn, about the 9 o'clock position. In blue, looks like Flash is going to be starting at the 6 o'clock position in, I think, purple. Anyway, but yeah, I really don't see him taking it out. Maybe on a new map he'll come up with something creative, but he's not known for his creativity, and he's going up against Flash, who's just an extremely strong Terran player, and known for his creativity on essentially a big set of new maps. So I don't know what GGPlay can really do to get this done.
I think it's going to be tough also, and you know, Flash is... Flash is definitely the kind of player who would take advantage of the fact that Medusa does have those 10 temples leading onto a ridge behind your main base. I'm not sure if GGPlay is the kind of player who would do it. However, I will say though that my favorite unit, Lurkers, can be employed to destroy those temples quite easily. You can also try to use a pylon trick or two worker units to try to squeeze something behind there, but a Zerg player really doesn't have much of an advantage by squeezing a drone through unless they're thinking about doing some, you know, NC Yellow style proxy hatchery on the back of the Terran's base, which would be quite exciting, but I don't think has ever been done except by Yellow against Boxer. But in any case though, the Lurkers could destroy that, and we could be seeing something like that, but looks like Flash is actually going for a rather standard opening here, probably going to wall in, and so is GGPlay going for that standard 12 hatchery. Do you think Mutalisks will probably be employed in this game, sort of a standard 3-hatch Mutalisk opening?
I'm going to have to say GGPlay needs to go Mutalisks. I think that's his bread and butter. I've said a long time ago that GGPlay tends to win and lose on his Mutalisk harass, essentially. If he does very well with his Mutalisks, he ends up winning games. If he doesn't, sometimes he'll go within the Mutalisk harass, he won't actually do all that much damage, he'll take out 2 SCVs, but it'll still look really good, and you can tell he's in his flow, and he just carries that all the way into his late game. And then other times he'll go and he'll lose 2 Mutalisks and have to back out, and then even though he'll have opportunities to take the advantage in the rest of the game, he'll still just not get it done. So I think there's something about the Mutalisk game, in my opinion, where just mentally he requires that to just advance through. He could still go Hydra Lurk, but really I feel like his bread and butter is his just fantastic Mutalisks.
Yeah, I have to agree there also, and looks like Flash is about to set up for his standard fast expand here after 1 Rax. Yeah, so we do see it on the minimap, and Flash now scouting. That's a rather late scout, but I guess he was quite sure that GGPlay wasn't going to be going for a 9 pool or anything tricky like that, and he felt safe scouting after, I believe that was probably the SCV that built the barracks, in fact. So just definitely trying to get as much economy as possible, and not expecting much from GGPlay in terms of some kind of very fast rush, because that could have been devastating for Flash. And my theory has also always been that if you're generally the less favored player, and in this matchup, I think Flash, definitely a resurgent Flash is the favorite, then I think you should be the one that going for more cheesy builds, more low macro builds, and going for a short-term game. But we'll see what GGPlay decides to do. He's got a hatchery building behind his main base. That is, I believe, yes, that is his mineral only behind his main base. Flash, really, what do you think about Flash? Do you think he's he can take this game down with his standard Medic Marine play, or do you think he's going to do something different in this game? And we do see an early gas, so could be something different.
Actually, interestingly enough, that gas came down after the third hatchery, so GGPlay went for a very quick 3 hatchery economy build there. Now he's got his gas down, so he's in a very strong economic position. That's really going to help counter Flash's fast expansion. Is going to put him in a pretty solid economic position. Now teching to layer. We'll see if GGPlay actually, if he does go for this next tier tech, if he'll have it essentially a little bit earlier as a result of that, just having a much stronger economy on the opening. But yeah, Flash, I don't know, Terran's kind of had some interesting times lately. Boxer recently showing that Valkyries can be used very effectively against Zerg opponents. And now we see a factory going down. It's inside the base here, so that really suggests that Flash is. He does have 2 bases established, so he could go mechanical, or he could again go for that, go for the Valkyrie or 2-port Wraith. We'll see what he's going to be doing momentarily. But either way, Flash has. I'm sorry, GGPlay's playing in the entirely in the dark. He has no way to go with this, and it just shows Flash's creativity. He feels safe doing creative things, and he's good at experimenting, good at keeping his opponents on his toes, and that's why he is such a successful player.
At about the timing of this rush, though, for Flash, it's going to be later than your standard 2-port Wraith, which is, of course, off of 1 base. And if I recall correctly, the game against Jaedong he played in the Pro League All-Stars was on Katrina, where he went 14 CC, which I think barely gives you enough time to do it. Oh, and how did he get a drone in there? That is really impressive. Do you think, did GGPlay trick that drone through the temples?
Wow, I have no idea. I did not see that drone on the minimap. Maybe he put it in and managed to sneak it in. He would have had to send a very early drone to do that. Yeah, he had to trick that by the mineral supply. A vulture coming up, so that was produced initially, but now GGPlay knows exactly what he's up against. And honestly, seeing those 2 factories down, I'm going to have to assume that he probably is going to go for the Spire, simply because it takes a while to get a good grouping of Goliaths out. You've got to put down that armory. In the meantime, it's all ground units that Flash is going to have to produce. Engineering Bank going down, Flash realizing it, he's going to have to get a decent grouping of turrets. I've got to assume that GGPlay did the mineral trick up the backside to get that scout, which is really, really huge in this match. And 2 armories down! 2 armories from Flash. So he's going for a very quick mech, heavy upgrade game, and I've got to assume he's going to stick to the ground.
Yeah, he's going to go for mass Goliaths here for sure. The question is, though, is he going to have enough Goliaths to not sustain massive damage due to this Mutalisk harass? Because the Tyrant is quite weak to the timing of those Mutalisks, and those Mutalisks are much more maneuverable than Goliaths are. Flash is probably going to have to build a couple of turrets, I believe. He does have the engineering bay. He also has a fairly early academy there, actually. I was thinking for a sec that he was going to go biomech, medic, marine, and tank, but probably not. And I think the Observer was showing us that the ledge behind the main base is quite susceptible to Mutalisk harass, because it's kind of like Blue Storm, where you have that cliff where your units won't be able to shoot up unless you have something to provide vision. I think actually Flash is pulling that engineering bay for that very purpose, so it's still going to be difficult, though, to defend, and we'll have to see. I mean, this is, like I said, I think this is going to be a Zerg favorite map. Medusa is against Terran, and we'll have to see GGPlay and how he makes the best of it.
I think this is going to be a key moment here again. GGPlay, first of all, he really needs a strong Mutalisk harass, I just think mentally, but additionally, a strong Mutalisk harass is going to be a big key to this game, how much economic damage he can do before Flash can get a critical mass of Goliaths. And GGPlay expanding, you can see that 3-hatch early, allowing him to expand additionally, and just revealing his Mutalisks to draw the Goliaths off to that section. And now going backside, it looks like, I don't think he caught a SCV there, it's hard to tell. So 2 expansions going up after this. GGPlay is playing crazy right here. He's going to allow his Mutalisks to pin Flash in his base while he is taking 2 more expansions. If he can basically keep Flash back with this Mutalisk harass, he's going to end up taking the game just because his economy is going to be ridiculous.
3 expansions. It's 3 expansions, Diggity. I can't believe this. I think almost he's employing what a Zerg would do against Corsair Reaver, would you say? Basically, like Corsair Reaver, the Terran can only attack at 1 place at 1 time with these mech units, and now he's going for an attack on the turrets there, actually picking off 2 turrets, and now he's going to be within range of the SCVs on the natural expansion. He's going to pick off another turret there. No, it looks like he's forced to withdraw. Charon boosters up for Flash, though, but like I was saying, like Corsair Reaver, it's difficult to to really to attack multiple places, because your mechanized army is so small relative to what you would have with medic marines. You can have 2 or 3 separate forces. So you know, I think GGPlay is definitely making the right play here. Also getting 2 Evo chambers, so going for that late game tech most likely, going for Ultra Ling, I think, with the amount of resources he'll have.
I've got to assume he's going to get some Defilers down just so he can get that Dark Swarm. Dark Swarm absolutely destroys mech. Absolutely destroys mech, simply because aside from Spider Mines, yeah, you can do splash damage with your tanks, but Goliaths are completely immobilized. Vultures aren't going to do range damage at that stage, although I don't think he's going to be producing Vultures. And tanks, yeah, just a lot of the splash damage is minimized. The splash still hits, but the direct fire doesn't end up doing direct damage. So, but it looks like Flash is going completely with Goliaths at this stage. And still, he's got to keep those Goliaths at home base to do this, is to deal with those Mulisks. Looks like GGPlay lost a Mulisk there. But he can keep engaging right here. He can keep engaging and just being annoying. He's going to actually push in with all these Mulisks and try to do as much damage as possible. He might have an overwhelming amount of Mulisks here. I didn't think he actually did, but I think he's going to end up losing all his Mulisks in this attack. Just really pumping it out, making sure he keeps Flash back. Yeah, he's only got about 3 Mulisks left here.
Do you think that could have been a mistake, Diggity, or do you think he needed to do that? Because
I think that was a calculated risk. No, I think that was a calculated risk. He wanted to basically convince GGPlay at that point. I'm sorry, he wanted to convince Flash at that point. I'm going all in Mutalisk at this stage, even though that's like the worst thing to do in this situation. I don't know that because that was more Mutalisks than he really needed to throw in, and I don't know if he convinced Flash of that, and that he pinned Flash back at 2 more factories going down at this stage. Maybe I'm off on that, because honestly that's kind of silly. I don't know why Flash would possibly think he was going all in Mutalisk, but that's the only thing I can think at that stage, aside from just kind of pushing up and suiciding this, and he is continuing to produce Mulisks to just throw up that pressure. But let's assume it from Flash point of view. Flash is thinking, wow, he's only got 3 hatcheries down. He hasn't expanded, taking basically 3 more hatcheries at this point. He doesn't have the production really to be investing 4 more hatcheries, I should say. He doesn't have the production to be investing in that many Mutalisks and still be pumping drones at this stage. So it's kind of a mind game, in my opinion, that GGPlay is kind of playing on Flash here.
Yeah, +1 armor up for GGPlay's Mutalisk. Flash is at 1-1. He has been at 1-1 for a while. But, you know, this is GGPlay's strategy. The moment he saw the Goliaths, he knew he was going to be going for this Mutalisk harass/delay, like you said. So he's been researching that +1 armor for quite a while. And now Flash is facing a 7-base Zerg. That's right, just look at it. This is the Fury of the Swarm here. GGPlay at 7 bases against Flash's 2. And if he can manage to hold on for maybe 5 more minutes, that'll be enough. Because he can go, looks like he's actually putting down a Hydra's Den. So he's going to be going, it seems like mass Hydralisks, which actually would not be a bad idea against this number of Goliaths, especially because Flash doesn't look like he's building too many siege tanks here. Just 2 siege tanks out for Flash. And do you think Flash could have made a mistake here by going for this this mechanized build and just, you know, I just don't understand why do you think he went for this build?
I think he was just kind of mixing it up. He's going to go for something creative. I don't think it was a mistake. It's just GGPlay has really, he's just played very aggressively against this. And the question now is if GGPlay can survive the onslaught. He's going to have mostly, going all Mutalisks at this stage. So he is going all in Mutalisks, essentially, and he's getting down the Ultralisk Cavern here as well. This is absolutely nuts. So he's going to have an economy to build the Ultralisks alongside, and that is a huge amount of Mutalisks. That is an unbelievable amount. So when I say he was kind of saying, oh, I'm going all in Mutalisk, he was in fact going all in Mutalisks. Jeez, and so he's going to go and he's just going to try to take down the tanks, would be my guess, and then hope that the Ultralisks come out in time to deal with the Goliaths.
Really interesting here. Looks like he's. I thought he was going to go all Hydralisk here in the late game, but we're just seeing. We're seeing the Ultra's Cavern, so it could be, could be anything he wants right now. He does have the tech for anything he wants and the resources. I can't even count how much gas he has. He's like Saudi Arabia here. He's got 6 or 7 gas right now, and that is going to be very, very powerful very soon. +2/+2 up for Flash though. He's sending out the 1 Marine he has to try to figure out what's going on in the north there. But I think Flash has got to know there's expansions around the map. He's, of course, has been using the scanners, I'm sure. And Flash, though, has been a little bit indecisive. I think he should have moved out maybe 2 or 3 minutes ago. But now he finally has that very large Tyrant force. Now, the one thing he's missing is Science Vessels, because off of 2 bases and getting such a big mech army, you just simply do not have the gas for Psi Vessels. And this is going to be tough. If GGPlay gets Dark Swarm, I think that could be GG for Flash.
Wow, Ultralisk's already out and more expansions going down for GGPlay, and there's some Vultures going out in the field. I feel like it's almost already too late for Flash with those Ultralisks being spawned. And also level 1 armor, level 1 weapons. Those Ultralisks are really going to help. All he has to do is suicide those Mulisks in, take down the tanks, and the rest is essentially, and look, as you can see, the Zerglings running in there to absorb some mines. Another comsat going off. Looks like got to get out of there because the Vultures are going to start pushing down on those Vultures. They don't think GGPlay wants to reveal Lady's Mulisk. And there's the Mulisk coming in now, so there's the reveal, taking out all the Vultures. I guess he could have been baiting them in, but honestly, I think he wanted to keep that somewhat hidden. But all the drones taken out, so I'm not going to say Pyrrhic victory, but GGPlay definitely has shown his hand that he has a butt-ton, and I mean it looks like 2.5, 3 control groups of Mulisks at this stage. And that's got to make Flash somewhat nervous. He's really got to protect those tanks. And now we already have Ultralisks in position. Yeah, I really feel like Defilers is going to be the last a command center floating above the hatchery here, kind of guarding it and just waiting to take it. And it looks like Flash is going to start pushing up at that position. But the question is can GGPlay suicide, take out the tanks, and then allow the rest of his units underneath to take care of the Goliaths?
Yeah, and plus the +2 chitinous plating has been finished for the Ultras. +3, +1 for the Ultralisks right now. Huge minefield in the center map, but GGPlay seems to know it's there, so he's suiciding some Zerglings in there. And the minefield's really the one thing that's keeping the bases of GGPlay from reinforcing one another. I think it's very smart by Flash to go for the late game Vultures. GGPlay just mining gas over there. Simply a cloud of Mulisks approaching Flash's army, though. And will it attack? No, it looks like it withdraws. There's just way too many Goliaths there. Flash really needs just 1 or 2 science vessels with their radiate, though, to cut that army down. But I think he's really just not been able to research that with the amount of gas he's used for those Goliaths. A couple more Zerglings taking the hits for those Ultras. Those Ultras are going to be coming in pretty soon. And Flash, the one thing Flash has going for him is that GGPlay does not have Defilers yet, but it's simply going to be an overwhelming mass of units. GGPlay almost massed out here at, one Ultra getting wiped by those mines, but GGPlay at 180, Flash at 169, and here comes the big battle. Here comes Armageddon here.
Epic. Huge battle going down. Mulisks need to target those tanks, and oh my goodness, proximity here. The Goliaths coming to support. The Ultralisks did manage to get in proximity with those Goliaths and on those tanks additionally, and now the Goliaths trying to push up, but it looks like the Goliaths are targeting the Mulisks instead of the Ultralisks underneath. The Ultralisks are just doing a huge amount of damage, and it looks like GGPlay is probably going to come out with this battle. 2 unsieged tanks behind, and this is Flash's entire army. He's not going to be able to replace this rapidly. I think GGPlay is going to take the game with this attack.
Yeah, absolutely incredible attack. Muta Ultra here. I've not seen a game like this in years, really. I have seen old games between what Boxer was playing where there was mass Mutas used against. Oh, wow! And now just pushing in, devastating Flash's natural. I think Flash might be able to hold here, but I think this is going to be a game for Flash. He had that one chance to take out GGPlay, and this entire game, Flash has been playing surprisingly passive, I gotta say. GGPlay, which is a ridiculous mass amount of Ultralisks. He can just pump all Ultralisks right now and just storm Flash's base. Now, most of his Mulisks are gone, but Flash is still just relegated to 2 bases against what's got to be still 6 or 7, or it's got to be 7 bases or 8 actually for GGPlay. GGPlay just collecting Ultras here, and those Vultures are just going to be bravely laying mines in the middle of the map. But GGPlay also has those Overlords around, so they are going to get detection, so the Ultras don't get wiped out by the mines. But I gotta say, GGPlay, while not known for necessarily his creativity in coming up with new builds, has definitely shown to me at least that was a very, very good adaptation to Flash's build.
Wow, just going crazy macro there, very aggressive macro, and I have to say GGPlay played a fantastic game right here. Another huge grouping of Ultralisks coming down. That is going to be the devastating group. Mulisks being pulled back. I have to say Flash trying to do what he can, sending Vultures out in the field just to be annoying, trying to distract GGPlay's units away from his spawn, but honestly I don't think it's going to be enough. He is doing damage here, but GGPlay has so many other hatcheries that are producing for him, and honestly his economy is so ridiculous at this stage, just from everything prior to this. I don't think this is really going to get it done, and 2 Ultralisks hatching right there to help deal with the Vultures alongside, and also Sunken Colony and Mulisks up ahead. GGPlay is just in a very, very dominant position. His economy is rocking. I don't see an additional expansion from Flash down. I think he's still relegated to his first 2 bases, although in this video it's a little bit difficult to tell. He wanted to take that 9 o'clock location, but he couldn't get it done, so now he's trying to do what he can with the units he has, but it's just running into a brick wall of pure organic flesh here. GGPlay is just ridiculous macro.
Yeah, I mean, this is really the power of the Zerg here. This is Sauron Zerg, and now he has a Nidus network connecting all of his bases. Flash still unable to pick up his third gas. He did have 3 bases. I'm sorry, I've been saying 2 bases, but he did have that mineral only behind his main base. But he's just really hurting on gas. Flash sending out his SCVs also, so he's going to be going for perhaps. No, looks like he was actually landing his command center. Sorry about that. So he is going to be trying to mine at the 9 o'clock. But like I said, Flash just really has a big problem with gas. And GGPlay going for a snipe on the command center. Looks like he might be able to pick off the command center. Queen would certainly take care of it. Flash actually has got all of his SCVs repairing, so it looks like he'll barely manage to save his command center there at the 9. But Flash in big trouble. You can see it on his face. GGPlay looking stoic there. The CJ phase. Which is to just have no facial expressions. Back in the day, Savior, Zelos, players like that were known for that, not having facial expressions on CJ. It's just something for you guys to note. But really, Flash has just played a strange game so far in this game, and I think what's really hurting him, like I said, is the lack of science vessels. If he had them, he at least would have been able to do something about that Mulus cloud. But really, at this point, just how many Ultralisks are walking down the screen? My God.
Wow. I think this is the most Ultralisks I think I've ever seen in a single pro game. That's just, that's too, wow. We really need the March of the Elephant song or the Stormtrooper, like, Doom sound or something like that. Because look at that. The Vultures, even though they're faster, cannot get out. The Ultralisks are blocking everything. And right now, Flash has his front door open. I don't know why GGPlay at this stage just doesn't end it and just doesn't take all of his Ultralisks, which I don't think can be stopped at this stage, and just plug the front door of Flash's base and just end it.
As we can see, GGPlay maxed out. He's building up gas and resources prodigiously. He's almost like a Protoss. He could save up. He's got the massive army. He can also save up from all his hatcheries to produce in his hatcheries. This is a rare position for Zerg. Usually Zerg are not ahead in food count against Terrans when they fight them. And GGPlay has been throughout most of this game without even a single battle occurring. Usually that is so rare, and just shows how heavy a macro game he's been able to play. And I agree with you. I think once GGPlay decides to pull the trigger, even if it doesn't completely succeed, he can kill most of the units with flashes and then finish them off with a second wave. Here comes a drop actually from GGPlay, some ultras in the back there, so clearing the way to the second expansion behind Flash's base.
Just going to go over the mines instead of under them. Flash is now trying to get his forces in the back of his base, and that's going to leave his front door wide open, and specifically the 9 o'clock location, which we see a drop coming in right now. Yeah, and Flash cannot get in position. This is showing you the power of Zerg maneuverability. I guess GGPlay didn't want to hit those mines. He didn't know how many mines were on the ground, but this right here is going to be the killing blow. You can see how many turrets are up in the air to deal with those Mulisks, and GGPlay bringing in more drops. This is his entire Ultralisk army inside of Flash's base. Wow, this is some beautiful play from Flash, I have to say. Really going aggressive and really playing a very, very smart and a very, very just, wow, crazy macro Zerg game here, showing that he can get it done, and it looks like he's going to take game 1 from Flash, which is a big surprise.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is a huge surprise. I mean, Flash, well, actually, you know what? I'm not going to spoil the results of the, anyway, so, but anyway, Flash is definitely looking like, he really needs to win this next game here. The next game will be on, I believe Chapung Ryong, which I'm not sure is a Terran or a Zerg favored map. GGPlay looks like he's going to clean up, although actually he does lose all of his ultras in the back, but it really doesn't matter. He's done so much damage to Flash's economy and also his army size that GGPlay can replace all of this. He's at 130 food. As long as he hits some hatcheries and some U buttons, as long as his U key is not broken, basically, he can win this game. And even if it was, he would click on the Ultralist symbol because he has 3,000 minerals and gas. Anyway, if it gets to a game 3, which I think it should probably get to, I mean, Flash is certainly probably not going to get 2-0 by GGPlay, then it will be on Plasma, which is a Terran favorite map.
Yeah, that's the one thing that's GGPlay needs to win game 2 because they just can't see Flash losing on Plasma. Going in, just raking over the 9 o'clock. Flash has nothing in position to defend here. Didn't even have those Goliaths. Now he's just too tank heavy to deal with these Ultralisks. I don't feel like he has enough Goliaths on the ground to deal with the large. This is the problem with Zerg when they have this many resources, is they can shift tech so quickly. Flash putting up a good fight, but I'm surprised he hasn't gotten overrun already, and I think that's a real testament to Flash, and it looks like he's going to try to siege the upper right-hand base. I'm honestly, I'm going to have to say I'm a little bit disappointed in GGPlay that he hasn't already ended it.
Yeah, but I think GGPlay actually just, like you said, he's able to switch tech at will, and he switched back to Mulisks, and those Mulisks are going to take care of this tank-heavy army of Flashes. Flash just does not have the right unit composition here, and that's going to be GG very soon, I think. Oh, yeah, he switched back to mass Mulisks. Very smart play. GG coming from Flash. Wow. I did not expect this result, even though I was saying Medusa is a Zerg favorite map. I'm just so impressed. I mean, I think partially it had to do with Flash's build. Partially it did have to do with the geography of this map, though. The middle is just so open that, you know, throughout the entire game, we saw Flash afraid or unable to move out.
I think a big key of this is, again, that early 3 hatch is simply because GGPlay could get that early 3 hatch down, so he had Mulisks up in the air to pin Flash back in his base. Flash didn't have the barracks down, so he wasn't going for any sort of bunker bust, instead going for the mechanized build. So GGPlay, realizing that Flash was basically stuck, he couldn't go anywhere, and forcing him to stay at home base, expanding absolutely everywhere. That was just brilliant gameplay and brilliant, that was excellent play from GGPlay.
Yeah, Flash looking not that happy there in the locker room and himself. What do you think about the mech build on this map? I was thinking that Flash, you know, he really didn't have that much of a need to go for a strange build against GGPlay. Not saying GGPlay is bad. Certainly from this this showing, he certainly didn't play poorly. But do you think it was necessary? Do you think it was a good idea for him to go for mech instead of going for a standard medic marine build?
I can't. Yeah, I don't know. I think a standard medic marine build, it's standard. I can't say that one build would have been so much better against Zerg than the other. I think medic. Well, no, actually, I'm going to say that mech's just bad on this map, because again, you're just giving too much time to your Zerg opponent, and just kind of, again, you're right. The geography, a Zerg can just expand all over the map. On a map like Katrina, you can get your mech out and you can take down the additional expansions rather rapidly with just a couple Mulisks, or I'm sorry, Goliaths, a couple tanks out in the field, because it's hard for Zerg to really position around the map like GGPlay did. But GGPlay, because he can put so many expansions at distance, the mechanized units just weren't really useful at all. I have to see, honestly, I don't know if I'm a high enough level of player to really call whether a mech build is inferior definitively against a medic marine build here. I do think there's a kind of a lot of ramps, and you're right, a lot of open space, a lot of room for Zerg to be flanking, so I don't know that medic marine would be all that much more successful on Medusa, but I will say just being so passive, especially against a player of GGPlay's caliber, was definitely a mistake.
Yeah, I have to agree, and we didn't see a single science vessel in this entire game. You know, that would have been very useful against Mulus, but there wasn't a single, you know, it just wasn't a drop of gas for Flash, and so ends that story. We'll be seeing, you know, the next game in this series between Flash and GGPlay in a few days. Hope you guys enjoyed this cast. The other games will be coming up with me, Moltrap, and Diggity in various combinations very soon. Thanks for watching, guys.